Record too, yeah. But look, I do think though, if we do cartoon buffoons for books, right?
Okay.
I think the discourse on the Hungry Caterpillar episode is going to feed for generations.
That's good. Yeah.
I think the amount of screaming we're going to do over the Hungry Caterpillar.
She was really hungry.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you're devaluing him down to just his hunger. I think you're taking one aspect of his personality and his personhood, and you're bringing it too far to the forward. Wyatt, you know, he has more going for him. He's red in the face. Yeah, his face is red.
that is true.
His body is green. You know, he's not just about being hungry.
You're just talking about skin color right now, so. I don't know.
Do you want to separate race from the story of the Hungry Caterpillar?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, Wyatt.
What's that? Oh, hold on. What am I thinking of? There's the book about like a snow day. That's like the most checked out book of all time in like the New York Library or whatever.
The Snowy Day?
I think so.
With the black kid with the
I remember hearing
red jumper. Yeah,
I remember hearing a factoid about that being like, oh wow, this is like one of the first children's books that had just a black kid with no like, it didn't really have any relevance to the story. It was just like as far as like black. You know, not being about civil rights or whatever. So we will talk about that, and you know we can.
My mom had that book actually because of that factoid. My mom's very into it, like, you know, my mom's black and very into all my history.
Oh so, shit! Yeah. I didn't know that.
Oh fuck, dude! Anyway, I do think I'm trying to think of children's books that scared me as a kid. Did you guys read The Old Lady Who Swallowed a Fly?
Yeah.
No. But it sounds horrifying.
It's fucked up. It's fucked up. Basically, there's an old lady, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so stupid going over the plot points of the old lady. Like, basically, imagine an old lady. But there's an old lady who swallows a fly, right?
Right. Oh, whoa,
shit. And,
shit. Fuck.
And the thing is, it just keeps going. And later on, she swallows a fucking elephant.
Yeah.
And then she just dies at the end of the book.
Yeah.
And as a kid, it scared me because she was just eating horses and dogs. And I'm like, hey, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Good fetish material, but bad children's book material. So. The cartoon buffoons are together again in this episode of Cartoon Buffoons. I'm Wyatt, and who is here with me today as always?
Hello, I'm Morgan, and I'm Princess Bubblegum's cousin, Spearmint.
Ooh, and who is our very special guest for today's episode?
Hi, I'm Ample, and I didn't think of a bit. I meant to think of a bit before I came on here, and then I completely slipped my mind. I was like, I listened to the Total Drama episode, and I was like, I gotta think of a bit, and then I just didn't have one.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good episode. Yeah, we only talked about the first season of Total Drama, so we didn't get into the business of all of the 100 million, billion, trillion.
Someone told me that was their first episode. I was like, damn, I'm sorry. We were saying bullshit.
Yeah. That is funny that it did get a weird amount of like views compared to what I usually
get. The Total Drama fandom is like sneakily very large. Like it is. Yeah. It is kind of shocking the amount of people who know it. I am somebody who is unfortunately like kind of used to be pretty heavily invested in it, and there's a lot of people, so that doesn't surprise me at all.
That's pretty cool. But you know, more importantly, or more relevant, I guess, to this episode is your fandom of Adventure Time, which is why I wanted to bring you on as a guest. Well, first of all, because this is Cartoon Buffoons, can you talk just generally about like Cartoon Network, how it means to you? You know, does it have any relevance to your life at all outside of Adventure Time? You know, childhood related, etc. Just give us the whole rundown on your relationship with that, and then we can go into, you know, your thing with Adventure Time.
Got it. Well, growing up, I was actually more of a Nicktoons kid, which is kind of a shocking fact to reveal to people. But I guess because I'm a little bit younger than you guys, I was born in 2004. So when I was growing up, it was all SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents. That was what people talked about. And, every once in a while people would be like, Cartoon Network has live action stuff now. And I'd be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But eventually, when it was like 2016, somebody from like school was like, hey, have you seen Steven Universe? And I was like, no, it sounds kind of weird and for children though. And they're like, no, you would like it. And then I checked it out, and I was like, oh, this is, like, a little bit better than, like, Breadwinners. So from there, I then got into, like... That kind of got me into, like, Adventure Time, and then, like, regular show, and then eventually stuff like OKKO and Infinity Train. And now I've made over 100 videos on Cartoon Network stuff. So I'm kind of a late bloomer into the Cartoon Network sphere.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, for us, like, unfortunately... Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, like, the exact era that we grew up in, it was a very weird thing. We talked about it a million times with, like, Cartoon Network and everything, where, Cartoon Network had, like, it was going good, and then it kind of, like, went downhill around that.
Fuck you.
Yeah, that, like, 2007 era. Some good stuff, of course, but then, Adventure Time picked things back up, and I was like 15 when Adventure Time came out, so I was the exact nerdy bearded guy, epic bacon flannel sweater,
Jesus Christ,
like guide to that's just who I was then. Definitely not now.
And we talked about it in earlier episodes. I was at like the I was like a gay Chad at that point,
right
But I was like, yeah, like, listen, I love girls and I love kissing, but also I miss toys and cartoons.
Yeah.
So Adventure Time was me getting. I'm like, guys, look, gay sex rules, but I kind of want to watch this little guy with his dog friend.
Yeah.
So I got back into it with that, and it's very funny to think about. And fun fact, a lot of the girls I talked to also watched Adventure Time. Win-win-win. Yeah. So whatever.
They were like schmauzow when you said you like Adventure Time. So
algebraic, yeah.
Yeah.
Mathematical. Let's fucking go.
They started singing "Making Bacon Pancakes" as soon as you brought up Adventure Time.
Dude, they brought up the weird sexual tension between Marceline and Princess Bubblegum. Honestly, I don't think they know how much of an end that was for gay girls back in the day. Shout out Adventure Time.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that they definitely it definitely existed before season 3, but they definitely leaned into it with what was missing in season 3. So,
dude, and then when Marceline got outed as black, oh my god, top of the road for me.
Isn't Olivia Olsen? Is she not black? I thought that she.
No, she is, but why? We were still in the era of cartoon characters could be voiced by anybody.
Okay.
Like nowadays, if like a non-human character is voiced by a black person, you assume they're black. You know?
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
That is
but
true. Like back then, it could mean anything.
Yeah,
it's still very funny to me that like Marceline's mom was originally voiced by Rebecca Sugar. I think that's just like the funniest like time capsule where like that happened, and then 3 years later that would have been completely unacceptable.
Yeah,
right? Like
because Erica Luttrell, also a Steven Universe person, voiced her in Obsidian, which we'll be talking. One of the things that we'll be talking about today, in case we didn't mention it, we're talking about Distant Lands.
Yeah, we're talking about Distant Lands.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. We kind of just jumped all around, but yeah, we're doing Distant Lands, so we're doing all 4 of the episodes of Distant Lands, and we'll go in order. Maybe we'll talk about Together Again last, because it kind of is spiritually the final episode. And it would be like, not that I dislike Wizard City, but it's definitely like not a great finale for this little miniseries.
It's a little strange.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess what is it? What's the first? Isn't the first one the BMO one?
Yes, the first one is BMO. Wait, you did kind of talk about your history with Adventure Time. Never mind.
Oh yeah, I am very into Adventure Time. I've made 40 videos on it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it like 7 or 8 times. I'm very into it. Although I think I'd only seen Distant Lands like once or twice before watching it for this. So it was kind of like more unfamiliar to me than everything else. But
yeah, I found your channel like last year at some point. I think because you made a video on Malachite from Steven Universe. I was like, oh hell yeah. And then Yeah, so, and then I went back and watched a bunch of your Adventure Time stuff after now finishing the series and having a better perspective on what to watch,
Yeah, some of those early videos are a little bit rough, so a little sorry about that, but...
Yeah, I think the earliest one I watched was, let's see... Oh, yeah, The Vault, so...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which is about this episode with, like, Shoko and...
Yeah. No, like, the very first few Adventure Time videos on my channel are definitely a little bit like someone reading the wiki to you in a convoluted manner, so...
Yeah, but other stuff is pretty
good. Which is now a huge genre of video on YouTube, so, I mean, that's
true,
I was kind of a pioneer in that, honestly.
Yeah.
Also, like, look, everyone has that feeling about early stuff they create. That's just
That's true.
Any video outside of the last 6 months, I'm like, I can't think about it, I can't watch it, I can't... Like, I don't know who made this.
If I ruminate on anything I wrote or drew less than a year ago, I mean, more than a year ago, I start bursting into flames. It is just the creation, like how it is to be a creator. It's so real.
I do keep everyone, like, because I do write fiction, on my Google Drive. I make sure to keep folders for all of the drafts. So, like, I have drafts going back to, like, 2014 for the story. And I'm sure if I read it, it'll be total garbage. But it's just, like, I have to make sure that I am 100% aware of where I started and where I'm at now. If I ever have any, like, lack of confidence, I can, like, look back on
Yeah, if you ever think you aren't improving, just, like, see how things used to be.
Yeah, exactly. I did have to unlist a couple of videos because I just felt that they were, like, kind of poor quality on my own channel. I did keep some of my earliest stuff I did keep on. Like, the very first video I made was on, like, OKK. It was kind of a topic-based video about the concept of Hanna-Barbera, which is something Ian Jones-Cordy talked about. And then, like, another one of, like, probably my most popular video still is one that I made comparing Clarence and Craig of the Creek. I kind of want to do, like, standalone videos for both of those shows at some point because... I like both of those shows, and I'd like to give them their due rather than, like, put them together as a point of comparison of, like, these shows tackle childhood differently from one another. But yeah, I'm waiting to finish season 2 of Fiona and Cake so that I can watch your recent season 2 of Fiona and Cake video. I'm like 5 episodes in. It's definitely different from season 1. I mean, it's definitely kind of a weird follow-up season in general, but I can't say I hate it at this
it's
point.
definitely interesting. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't watch Fiona Cake until we like this up. We're gonna go to Disneyland soon because I want to hold on this too long. Mm-hmm. But I like watched all of Fiona Cake at like a weekend with my partner. Mm-hmm. Like me and her just kind of watched it, and it was so weird watching it because I was like, man, I do think most Adventure Time fans still have to be killed. I was like, so like, we gotta draw and quarter them pilled. Cause like, yeah, there's some messiness here. But I'm like, they acted like this was the second coming of Satan.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is still pretty fucking fun and solid.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, dude, I saw the craziest take of just like, this show used to be about, fighting monsters. I'm like, when the fuck was Adventure Time ever truly about fighting monsters?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Well, I saw people that were like, this was about, like, Finn was, like, a badass kid that was kicking ass, and now Fiona's just, like, a depressed girl who's, upset about breakups. And we're like, man, were you not there for, like, the fucking second half of season 5?
Like, Finn spends, like, the entire second half of the series, like, every other episode, he's, like, moping around about something horrible that's happened to him. And then, like, Fiona gets a little bit sad because she sees someone die in front of her, and they're like, God, Finn would never do this. Finn would have just pulled up his britches and locked in. Like, what are we talking about?
It gets me so... I'm like, and the thing is, if I say the S word, if I just say, maybe you guys are sexist, I'm in trouble. Mm-hmm. I'm in big trouble now. I'm in big trouble.
That is possible.
Anyway, let's talk about Distant Lands. Yeah.
All right, it was starting with BMO, the first of the Distant Lands specials.
It's so weird these are movies, but I think I like it that these are movies.
Yeah, these are definitely, like... pretty cinematic feeling in the sense of like the tone and the vibe that it brings. And they also, like, I don't want to say they don't feel like Adventure Time, but they're a lot more structured, like a normal thing than Adventure Time is like the show. And so it's kind of an adjustment period going from the show being so freewheeling to this.
Yeah,
I think.
Oh, sorry, you go.
You go.
No, I definitely think, especially with BMO and then like Wizard City, which we'll get to, those definitely feel a lot more kind of like Disney movies almost. Like they have like a very here's your young plucky protagonist, and they have to learn how to like get over the adults in their lives who tell them who they're supposed to be. And it's, I think like a core part of Adventure Time is like, 11 minutes requires them to get like kind of funky with their setups and their conclusions. And the fact that none of these four have that makes them definitely feel a little more like a regular episode or regular movie versus like a weird 11-minute thing.
I think the term Ghibli-esque gets thrown around a lot, right? Mm-hmm. Like a lot, like a fuckload, and I get really pissed about it, right? Mm-hmm. I can definitely see some inspiration for the BMO one specifically. I think the world setting, how things go about it, it feels like through an Adventure Time lens,
Yeah.
Like I think like the humor and like how characters behave and stuff is still very Adventure Time, right? Mm-hmm. But it does have like such a vibe of like, I think they could have easily thrown these on television as singular movies every so often, and no one would complain. It would feel perfect, like the way Cartoon Network used to just air movies like that.
And it kind of just, I mean, it really does feel like that was the intention because, I mean, even back then, like a lot of those TV movies were like 45, 50 minutes long. They were Dragon Ball movie length. So. These fit really well. Like, we never got a proper Adventure Time movie, but it almost doesn't feel like we need it because we have something like Distant Lands. But
we have 4 now.
Like BMO, even though it's about BMO, it's actually about Y5, who is, like a rabbit person on like a space colony. It's very like kind of dystopian YA-esque, maybe like middle grade novel. Like she's like like you said, like a more typical like children show protagonist, like that kind of thing. And then BMO is just BMO, he's just kind of going. He's just kind of a weird little guy going around and doing stuff.
I did find myself worried because I do like BMO a lot, right? Mm-hmm. But I was worried that like would BMO be able to hang? In a 15-minute movie, right? 15-minute movie. And the answer was yes for the most part. I think it's because of how dim and dark the setting is that BMO works.
Yeah, and I think
BMO's kind of like having a playful time while everyone's like, guys, dude, we live in a dystopia. What are you talking about? Like, it's really good. Like,
and Y5 is that solid protagonist that sort of needs to step up and gain courage and use her voice, etc. And BMO is the kind of person to spur her on for that. Like even compared to the protagonists in the other, like in Obsidian and Wizard City, that are like kids, they don't really have a confidence problem necessarily. Like Glass Boy isn't really like unconfident. He's just like, he does need to prove himself, but whenever we see him talk, I mean, he's voiced by Amethyst from Steven Universe. What the hell's her name? Michaela Dietz. He doesn't have like, he doesn't seem like he's like, it's more like he's the underdog, he's getting bullied or whatever, but he's just like, I'm gonna prove those bullies wrong. And then Kadebra is just kind of completely unfazed by like all of the nonsense going around in her life. She just wants to become like a great stage magician, and she's just like a funny, cheerful character. With like Peppermint Butler is more of the, like underdog that has to prove himself in that case. But I just think go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are you guys' overall like feelings about about the first movie, about the BMO one? I guess.
Yeah, why don't you go first, Sam?
I really liked the BMO movie. BMO is kind of like, he's one of my like favorite characters, kind of conceptually from the original. The More You Mow, the Mo You Know is like my favorite episode of the show.
Ooh, that's right.
He is kind of the comedic relief in his own special, which I ultimately think kind of works out. But yeah, I mean, I think Y5 is. And I mean, I love Deb. We'll get to Deb in a second. But Y5 is maybe the best like new character of like these 4 specials. Like I feel like she really kind of carries this special in a way where it's kind of like towards the end, I'm like, I don't really care about BMO like breaking into pieces. Like I need Y5 to like be okay or whatever.
Yeah, but she's like an actual character. Like that's the thing. Like that's what I was saying. Like I do love Kadebra, but she is like comic relief, you know, and she's not really like it's just like she's not that much deeper than Abracadaniel himself. You know, I love Abracadaniel. Do not get me wrong. I think he's really stupid and funny, but yeah, she's definitely like the most well-rounded. Like the art, it's all about her. You know, it centers around her, and you know the world that she's living in. And then like BMO is a good support character, and like there is a little bit of pathos with him, but for the most part, you know, I think because this is also a prequel, as it's revealed by the end. I think it's too hard on that.
It's such a good call. I think this, like, I think across the board, what makes all these things work, but this one specifically for me, is that they make the right call of how important the established characters need to be for each one.
Yeah.
Like the level of like dripping of like what needs to be important, and BMO is at the perfect level to make Wi-Fi story work really well here.
I like. Oh, sorry. I like BMO's role in this story. I also like that Martin is in it, but like not in like a super obvious way. Like there are definitely people who you can watch this and be like, oh, Mr. M, I have no idea who that is. I think there's like a version of the special where there's like a big twist where it's like, whoa, Mr. M is Martin, and he's going to talk about how like sad it was that he like hit his head or whatever. But I'm glad that they're like, the focus of this is like BMO makes funny jokes, Y5 has her arc, and then the world is just like sick as hell. And that's like what the special goes for, and I think it does it really well.
Yeah, I love I'm a big Martin fan. I mean, I even messaged you, Sam, about how I watched your video on Islands and was like, I agree with your conclusion that like Martin, like the goal of that episode was not to be like, oh, he was a good guy all along, but then he just got a nasty head, you know, he had a head injury, so he suddenly became a bad guy. But more like, he was a shitty guy who wanted to do good for once in his life, and then it just ended up crumbling all before him. So then he just kind of went back to, you know, his old ways and you know, even like doubled down and became even worse than like, he was.
I'm so scared that if we get more Adventure Time in the future, we'll do something about Martin. Cause like I do think, even though for a kid show it's a little brutal, the idea of like, hey, sometimes someone could have loved you at one point, but they just end up sucking later on, happens every day. And I don't want them to backtrack on it, because I think Martin's funny because of that. I think he like is like really, really funny. And I think we go, no, Martin fucking hit his head and got anti personalities.
He's
like,
really a tragic character. Off. Yeah.
No, dude, he was like, I can try to settle down and have my wife pay for everything. And he's like, well, the cops want me. Sorry, kid.
Yeah, like, he's like such a hero that like he let his wife like support him and his kid and kind of like didn't actively be evil for like 10 months. It's like, you know, like, he's always kind of sucked. Shit, like he lucked into a comfortable life and therefore didn't have to be like shitty for like a little bit. But no, I mean, he sucked the whole time. But no, he also is very funny. He's funny in this.
Yeah, dude, Princess Bubblegum, unredeemable, should be killed. But Martin, he's a good guy, actually. Crazy things for fan bases. But yeah, but he is actively funny in this, because he's so go with the flow in that Martin style. Like, let's just take all the energy and stuff. Oh, this is going bad. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
Like, he's super funny.
Yeah. And I would say in general, like, you know, like Bebo and Martin definitely, like, they're the ones that are bringing the comedy for the most part. Like, Y5 is not like a super funny character, which isn't a knock against her necessarily. Again, she's a very well-rounded character. It's just the priorities are different with this. They are trying to make something that's like a little bit more epic, or has like a more of a conclusive arc like written around it, and that really carries through all of the rest of the specials. So yeah, I think that this one, you know, I think we can rank them in relation to each other by the end. But I remember watching it and being like, oh, this is a really solid start. It looks gorgeous, you know. animation is like top notch, which makes sense because, you know, they probably had a little bit of a bigger budget. They probably had like a TV movie-esque budget to do these episodes. So yeah, like looks similar to, but maybe not exactly as good as a TV movie would look, but it looks like very similar to how you would imagine a TV movie looks. And like later with like Fiona and Cake, you know, that being like a limited series, whatever, you know, miniseries thing on HBO Max that looks, you know, kind of, it looks very pretty and pristine and everything compared to Adventure Time. But yeah, I like this. You know, I liked it quite a bit. I like Y5. I would have, you know, all the new characters, basically, I like all of them across the board with all of the Distant Lands episodes, but she's definitely the best one overall. So,
and the next one is the is Obsidian.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is the one about, you know, Marceline and Princess Bubblegum helping the Glass Kingdom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm a bad lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
I think this one is all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. You know what? I think
this one is all right.
I think it has some really good moments in it. You know, I think that it has some, like, I really like all, you know, the flashback stuff in general with Marceline's always strong.
Really strong, yeah.
Yeah, like with her as a kid and everything. And again, like I mentioned before, Erica Luttrell coming to be her mom. Like, it feels, again, like when I heard her, I was like, oh yeah, she was Rebecca Sugar. And then it just like it makes sense that, you know, they would replace her. And then also, you know, she just kind of feels like she was born for that role. She has like a, you know, a kind of like young,
yeah, say it. Go ahead.
A kind of like young mom-esque voice to her.
Dude,
So.
You were dancing around saying a milfy voice. I heard you.
Okay. But like that's what Sapphire also sounds like, you know. She
milfy, yeah, like I get you.
Yeah. You know what? She is kind of milfy. You're right. I mean, she's
enough. You took my bitch.
Why not?
But
Except, not Pat Paracha though. She's not a milf. But
no, but like this one felt like maybe the most movie-y to me, especially with the opening. This thing opens up like a movie, like a TV movie. Like, cause you know, like when we got all those other TV movies, there's always like big plot thing happens, and then we go over to our heroes who are unaware of it. This was like the most plot. This is the most like Cartoon Network TV movie one. I think this one works for me. Like these spoiler, I like all four of these, right?
Yeah.
Well, as we're sitting on it, this might be like my weakest one, maybe second weakest one for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wait, what do you think, Sam?
It's probably my least favorite as well. I used to really like this one. Like, I think if you had asked me like a year ago which one of my favorite, I might have said Obsidian. But after watching it again, it's kind of unfocused. Like, I don't really give a shit about Glass Boy. I don't think he's as needed as like Y5 or Deb was to like be like this new
absolutely
character.
Not.
Like, I think if he had just gotten like shattered immediately, like I think the special would be better. I don't think See-Through Princess is especially interesting, and I think this was kind of like billed as like, oh, it's about Marcy and it's about Bubblegum, but like really it's mostly about Marcy, and then like Bubblegum gets like a little like root beer side plot at some point. But no, I think this one's definitely like the structurally kind of like messiest of these four.
Yeah, like it's about Marceline, like the way it's about Bubblegum, in which Marceline used to be shitty to her. Like that's all it is about her, and I think that bums me out because it kind of does the Bubblegum what we complained about them doing to Marceline during the
That's
actual
true.
show.
I was gonna say
like,
that I don't mind it because Bubblegum got comparatively way more focus in the main show than Marceline. I know that everybody complains that Marceline gets too much focus, or the people that don't like her will complain that she gets too much focus. But like, she really didn't get that much focus compared to Bubblegum, who's obviously like a very major character. Marceline, you kind of need to deploy her sparingly in order for her to be more effective. And she already got like a really good, like they wasted maybe not wasted, but they already used like the best possible story for her with Stakes. That was a really good story that they could have used for something like this, but then they just had to like double back and kind of like create this, thing. And I guess it's like, oh, it's good that they tried to, instead of it just being a purely Marceline backstory thing, it's related to like the history of her and Princess Bubblegum. I would say like my opinion on like the whole Glass Kingdom as a setup is that the entire time I was just like hoping that like See-Through Princess, I don't know, that she was like a more interesting character, but it was just like, and like none of the glass people, like none of that stuff, it didn't really feel necessary, and it felt particularly like overly written, like, oh, they're the bullies that need to be proven wrong by the end of the episode. Like, it felt like I was watching an episode of, like, The Owl House or something, like a Disney show, not a Cartoon Network. like that.
This is a very like, Disney Channel special. Like, what if Adventure Time had been on Disney and had a moral at the end of each episode?
Also, I don't even know what they were going for with, like, See-Through Princess relationship with the Glass Boy and everything. Like, it all feels so, like smashed together. Also, I do think, like, if you promote something as a movie about Marceline and Princess Bubblegum, right?
Mm-hmm.
This kind of fails immediately because, like, even though, like, oh, you like that, like, it's connected to Princess Bubblegum, it's not really. Like, it just, like, we all knew they had a falling out. It's about, like, how Marceline just can't be mean to her anymore. I'm like, that's not about her. Like, that's not about her at all. That's, like, I don't know. It bummed me out because, like, there's so much potential for them to be together and be a duo.
Yeah.
But then the thing, like, immediately separates them and then has none of that happen. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm watching anymore. The songs are good. I think the songs are good in this and stuff like that. Good. And I think overall, I think it's pretty solid. I don't know. It just kind of isn't what it was marketed to be.
Yeah.
And I think that bums me out a lot.
There's one good moment in this that I feel like becomes better in Fiona and Cake. And that's like seeing Simon, like him getting like walked in on, and then he's dressed as the Ice King, and he's like, "This is how I cope." And I thought that it was just like a dumb joke, and then in Fiona and Cake, they like bring that back as like tragic.
No, he copes like this.
Yeah.
I also think you said it before. I think the story with her mom is weird because we know Marceline has trauma about it, but the idea of like, oh yeah, her trauma is that she thinks her mom abandoned her. I'm like, I don't know if we needed that. I feel like your mom dying is enough trauma that we don't have to like add in like, oh yeah, she thinks her mom abandoned her for being a monster. I'm like, I fucking guess.
Yeah, and not to deplete the like, the emotions of that scene, but like, it never really came across like she had any baggage about her mom, other than her being dead. Like in Catch Up, in that episode when she sees the picture of her and her mom on the beach, she's not like uncomfortable about it. She's like taken back, breathless, and she's like reliving this nostalgic memory of happiness. Again, it feels like this isn't like, oh, this chapter of my life has been unresolved, or I thought it was resolved, but then I learned a shocking truth about it all along. It's kind of like a weird thing to kind of cram into Marceline's backstory that it seems like it didn't really exist until this point. So, yeah, I guess I didn't even. Yeah, I thought that this was fine. I thought that it was a solid. It probably would have been my least favorite as well, just on the matter of it like not being nearly as funny as the other ones, and having like some good emotional stuff, but for the most part, I kind of value like either humor or just a general like a good structure over like some emotional moments here and there. But yeah, talking about it more, it is kind of like, yeah, it is, in my opinion, kind of obviously a little bit weak compared to these.
I will say it does have an extra thing going for it, which it introduces my pet one-off Steven Universe favorite character. Bronwyn's in it, so I do give it more credit because I do like Bronwyn a lot. in a way that's unhealthy.
You mean Adventure Time? Not you just said Steven Universe.
Sorry. My bad. Adventure Time.
I was like, oh shit, you're gonna talk about Emerald. You're gonna talk about what other one-off characters are there?
No, but Bronwyn showing up is like my pet Adventure Time character. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, Bronwyn's here. And I did like seeing pseudo adult Finn.
Yeah, it's like Finn in his 20s before he becomes like a Bara daddy in Fiona and Cake. Yeah, I mean he is. just so we're clear.
Yeah, Finn's hot. Okay, Finn is hot.
Yeah, now. Finn's hot now. Meanwhile Fiona, she's just like, I don't know.
Chill out.
Yeah.
Chill out. Don't open that door. Listen, I made some posts about Cake on the internet. I'm very not proud of.
Yeah.
So let's just move forward.
You're allowed to move forward. But yeah, I feel like we've said all we could about Obsidian. Why don't we talk about Wizard City next and then leave Together Again for last?
So Wizard City is, and I don't know if you guys agree, Wizard City, I think after this rewatch is maybe my favorite one. I really enjoyed the special, especially because like I kind of have like some quibbles with Together Again that we'll get to in a second. But I think Wizard City is consistently the funniest one. I think like it's kind of really interesting, like the Pep Butt not wanting to be Peppermint Butler, but also literally being Peppermint Butler, and I mean, obviously, like, I don't really care about, like, who Koketepi is. Like, if you know who that is, like, you're not the same kind of, like, Adventure Time fan that I am. Like, I don't care at all about the lore.
Right.
But, like, like, it could have been, like, a random, like, string of characters to me. Like, I don't care about it at all. But I think, like, it's kind of, like, feels, like, grand and him becoming huge. And I don't know. I really like this one.
Yeah, I enjoyed it more. That it's kind of a weird way to end the series, but it's just like as far as like the fourth one, I'm pretty sure it was meant to be third. And it was like reshuffled because of like scheduling issues.
I believe they ordered it fourth. Like they ordered the first three because I guess it's easier to like sell like a Marcia Finn and a BMO special, and then they got permission to make the Peppermint Butler one. So they're like, oh, we'll just shift Together Again to the end, and I don't think they finished Wizard City in time to release it. But I watched this one before Together Again. We're rewatching it for this, and that helps kind of like see it more separately than like this could be the last we ever see of Adventure Time, and it's on the character.
It kind of reminds me of like, it kind of reminds me of book 4 of Infinity Train, where it's like, it's like really good, but after how 1, 2, 3 are all sort of like continuity with each other, and then 4 kind of just skips back in time and as a little bit of a prequel, and it's a little bit more comedy focused, so people were just kind of taken out of it because season 3 was a lot more serious. But I still really like book 4 of Infinity Train. Like I think all 4 of them are really good, so similar thing here. What are you gonna say, Morgan?
Yeah, I like this one. This is the one I rewatched first because I watched them in order, so I feel like I was being unfair to this because it came last. So like I'm gonna rewatch it, and I rewatched it and I liked it more on the rewatch. I think this one is really good, but also it feels weird because this feels like a fucking pilot.
Yeah, it does kind of feel like a backdoor pilot for a wizard school.
Dude, you guys remember the first Foster's Home like movie that set up the show? Mm-hmm. This feels like this. This feels like this feels like a movie that's gonna lead into a show. So like I told them to watch, I was like, this is really cool. It's weird. This is just it, isn't it? Like it's weird. This is just it because like I feel like this should be more. Like hell, the way they established like the 3 friends by the end of it and like everything, I'm like fuck. Mm-hmm. But I found this one really funny. I found this one to have like a lot of like the heart of what people like about Adventure Time the most, which is funny.
Yeah.
Because, like, the other 3 have, like, established characters, but this is the one that feels the most like a continuation of Adventure Time spiritually. Of, like, what people like about Adventure Time, even though Finn and them are not in it.
Yeah.
Which I think is maybe, like, a mindfuck for people, probably.
There is some, like, it's interesting. I don't think any staff necessarily crossed over, but Kadebra, she really feels like an OKKO character or something, like transplanted into.
Definitely.
Because like especially that scene where she like waves to Peppa and her hand is like giant. Like she's so cartoony. Like she feels like she doesn't really fit in the like very laid back but ridiculous world of Adventure Time. But again, like I just love her a lot. Like she's just like a very funny character that, doesn't necessarily have like a really strong arc or anything, but she sticks out more in my head than like we talked about with like Last Boy, where he's just like, he kind of goes nowhere other than like, I'm bullied, now I'm not bullied. Whereas she's more dynamic than that, or she feels like she's not as, her goal is to just befriend Pep, not to, stop getting bullied or stop having people like look down on her. She really doesn't give a shit about what people think of her, interests or anything like that.
I think that's like such a great thing about her in the like the greater like the greater Adventure Time characters, because a lot of Adventure Time characters have very low self-esteem.
Yeah.
Like when you like really look at them, so it makes like seeing her just like, hey, what's up? Like it makes her energy so new in Adventure Time, which I think is weird that they do that. We're not gonna talk about Fiona Cake right now, but I like the older like Kadebra and like Peppermint Butler and like all of their like and Blaine's like older designs in fucking
Fiona and Cake, season 2.
Fiona Cake go so hard.
Yeah, they're really good.
They're all so cute. They look so great.
Fiona and Cake has like a lot of like cameos. I'm not sure I popped off harder for Annie than seeing Deb and Pep at the beginning of season 2. I was like, holy shit, that's Deb! But no, I mean, it's... I genuinely did think I cared that much about them, and then I saw them and I was like, God, they don't let Deb talk in Fiona and Cake, so that's kind of unfortunate, but...
Like, they kind of just need a show. Like, literally, that sold me even more. I'm like, no, Peppermint Butler, now rules the kingdom and has to go to school and also is going through a Hot Topic phase. Give them a show. Let's go. Give them a full show. Let's just do it.
Yeah, like, I think, not to get off on a tangent of, like, biggest pop-offs, but, like, a couple so far, I've been watching... I'm still, like, halfway through season 5, or season 2. I'm 5 episodes in. But I posted about it last night that seeing the Hot Dog Princess, giving her like a little scene was the hardest I popped off during, that scene where it's like all the princesses kissing Finn because of Maria Bamford. I just love her voice. She's just she's so funny, like doing so many, just like half the characters back during like season 1 and 2. It was just like, I don't know, like, I love her voice is Hot Dog Princess. Very Muppety, very like Miss Piggy-esque voice.
I, like, no offense, and I get it, because Hot Dog Princess is funny. That's like such a singular you-only thing I've heard.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because that's crazy. That's a crazy thing to say.
Yeah, that's
kind of wild.
Yeah, it's so deeply disturbing. Like, if I didn't know you for a decade, if someone told me, my favorite part of the season was when Hot Dog Princess showed up, I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Now, to be fair,
you probably share that opinion with like some of the worst people on the planet who really enjoy seeing Hot Dog Princess kiss Finn.
No, not necessarily her kiss, just her showing up. Like, just in general, like hearing her and then, that whole scene playing out. But obviously the best scene is right after with Flame Princess. But,
I do, back to the movie, I do think it's so crazy that, like, if you've seen the posters and stuff for Wizard City, okay, spoiler for Wizard City, everyone that's, like, listening. So, sorry. Spader is on all the posters and stuff for this.
Yeah, dies horribly.
Which is the craziest thing on earth. They're like, yo, look at this cool kid that's gonna be showing up everywhere, and we've murdered him. Brutally. Yeah, he's been brutally murdered.
It's like shocking how like he doesn't like he's just kind of like a standard like school bully. Like we don't even see him do something that's like horrifically evil.
He's not even that bad of a
and
bully.
Then it's like he's just like evaporated. It's like damn.
I mean, like, fuck, what the fuck happened? It's so funny that that's like, it's also very Adventure Time to decide, like, we're just gonna kill this fucking guy.
I can't believe they just they kind of kill everybody at the end. I was like, I thought there would be like a wizard jail of some sort. I think even the original series, if it aired on Cartoon Network, they would have been like, oh, everyone's in like wizard jail now, but no, they just
no, they're dead.
Yeah, they're dead.
Yeah, I don't know. Adventure Time can be weird with that because
early season killed people. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was gonna say season 1, Tree Trunks. That episode ended with her exploding, and the horrified look on Finn and Jake's face. I know it then showed her like walking through like a crystal dimension, at the end, but for all we knew, she was just like dead and in heaven.
And I think that was added on re-airings, if I'm remembering correctly. I think the original airing ended with her just exploding. I'm pretty sure.
because that's what I remember.
I think they added that back because people were like, "What the hell?" Or I think they were going to kill her off, and they're like, "Oh, we love Polly Lou or whatever. We want to bring her back." And because we have to like explain that she's not
best
dead.
Choice they ever fucking made, by the way, because Tree Trunks is like absolutely one of the best characters in the whole show. Hopefully that's not controversial, unlike my love for Hot Dog Princess, but
No, I mean we'll get to it in a second.
I just love season 1.
We'll get to it in a second and together again. I really liked seeing Tree Trunks again. Like Heather again has a lot of emotional moments, but like even seeing her and like knowing that like obviously the voice actors had died, like it's a little bit emotional. Like seeing that like she's in like a what's effectively what's kind of Adventure Time's hell, but pretty much Adventure Time's heaven. But this one was really good. I think it was great. I had a great time with it.
I think it's totally unfair comparison, but I liked this wizard school more than I enjoyed the like school episodes of Owl House, So because I'm just like not a big fan of like magic school, like here's the kids, they go to magic school. I wonder
why.
Well, there's the one thing like, but I don't like Harry Potter because of that though. Like, it's not that I don't like.
This?
Yeah.
Speaking of comparisons, this special. Oh, sorry, you go.
No, you go first.
This special kind of reminds me of like the school arc from OKKO, like very like like headmasters and like teachers, and I think that's like kind of like a very direct comparison, like structure wise. Obviously, this one I think is a little bit more. I think it is technically shorter than the OKKO one, I guess, but it feels like more of like a grand story.
That's 5 episodes. This is
4-ish,
basically.
This feels closer to like a superhero school than it does like a wizard school, which I think is why it works so well. But yeah, I truly think I don't want to blame anything J.K. Rowling for anything else. She should just be killed. But like, Harry Potter really did just like suck any life out of that concept. It just like drained any.
I mean, even stuff like My Hero Academia, I didn't really ever get into because I just don't like the whole like. You could be anything. Here's our school. Like, here's the hero school. Here's the
here's
thing.
Our Yeah. Because there's always like there's a pang of eugenics in it. I'm gonna hold on. Like there is.
Right.
Sorry, like,
but that's also just like all of because it's all based on like 1800s British academia, and that's like the most racist thing ever.
Yeah.
Like it's like where racism came from, basically.
Like the idea that we watch this and like one of the best students in this thing is someone that just wants to do stage magic is such a great is already turning a lot of this on its head immediately.
Yeah.
And like a way that works really well. Like it's why like Sky High also like sucks when you look at it from any
This is very Sky High-esque. Yeah, like that's something I thought of too.
But yeah, anyway, let's go to the last one, which is
Together Again.
Finn
and Jake.
This has my favorite opening.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
The first 10 minutes are really, really great.
The first 10 minutes, if you're not immediately sold on this one by the first 10 minutes, I don't know what to tell you. Because they sold me immediately. Feel like, let's see, what's going on here? Hold on, wait. I'm dead.
Yeah.
I'm dead. Jake! And just runs. It's so funny. It's so funny, him just running for Jake.
Him doing the stupid clap thing from like an episode in like season 4 or whatever.
Yeah,
like...
just like if we're in the after, if they're like just clap, so we get like, what are you doing? I'm trying to find Jake. Clap, 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 clap.
Yeah,
it's such a funny. It's like I felt like I was back in it like immediately. This made me feel back in it right away. In a way that I'm not a nostalgia pill person. I didn't think it would make me feel that way, but it did immediately.
Yeah, I feel like even though I would prefer more stuff like the previous 3 episodes or like season 2 of Fiona and Cake, what it's doing so far with like Huntress Wizard, where it's like taking sort of less explored characters or like side characters or whatever and giving them a role. This is just like, it's Finn and Jake again. I appreciate it being like, all right, we're going to do like literally the last possible story we can do with these characters. Like, this is the definitive ending of these characters, no matter what. So we're just kind of making that, and then we can fill in the blanks up to this point. I appreciate that. In the same way that, like, Dragon Ball GT sucks, but the final 2 episodes are good as somebody who's a fan of Dragon Ball, because, like, giving Goku that big send-off and everything is nice, even if, the arc leading up to it was lame. Like,
Dude, I can't keep doing this show. I can't believe you snuck in something nice about GT.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
I can't do this no more. Sam, how do you feel? How do you feel about,
about Dragon Ball GT?
Oh, I thought about GT. Yeah, I was like,
die, Wyatt. No, how do you feel about?
I like the special. It is by far the most fan servicey one. Like, it's very much like, here are these characters, like this floor has these characters, here are all the evil characters, here are his family. I think this is kind of shocking to say about episode like Together Again. It's missing some of the sentimentality I would think something like this would have. Like, even like Finn meets his like parents, which has like this like episodes like Dad's Dungeon. Like, he clearly has a lot of trauma about, and he's like, wow, it's so nice to see you. Anyway, where's Jake? And I get that kind of like feeds into the idea that like he's lived his whole life for Jake and he never found anybody else, which makes parts of Fiona and Cake a little weird. But I don't know. Even when he meets Jake again, like Jake like comes down. I get they're going for like Jake like isn't immediately like fully attached, but I think that kind of like robs us of like the Finn and Jake reunion moment. That in like that initial moment, Jake doesn't like really care.
Yeah.
See, but also, I love the special because I'm a fan of the show, and I like fan service because I'm a fan.
I kind of like, I agree with like him with Jake, but I kind of like Jake not initially being attached because it does kind of like really highlight that Jake did have a lot more of a life outside of him and Finn than Finn did. I think like it works so well as a story about like you gotta live for yourself also, but I think the ending does undercut a little bit.
Yeah.
But like I do think it's something neat that like Jake had kids and a wife and all this other stuff that like Finn didn't have. We're ignoring some Fiona and Cake stuff, but like that he didn't have that like left him being the one clinging to this in the afterlife more so than Jake. I think it worked really well for me. I don't like how Finn interacts with Jermaine, Joshua, and Margaret, though.
Well, he doesn't interact with Jermaine, so...
that's what bothers me. It's weird he doesn't interact with Jermaine at all. Because we get so many Jermaine as their brother episodes at the end of the main show.
Yeah.
That, like, it feels odd to me.
Yeah, like, he... Yeah. I think... I get, like, the point of this is, like, like, Finn really cared about Jake, and he didn't really care about anything else, and, like, that's a problem. Which I think the show can't fully commit to, because it doesn't want to be like... Then our protagonist, the last 60 years of his life, was a complete, like, sad loser who lived for nothing. So they kind of, like, tiptoe. They kind of, like, tiptoe around that. And I don't know. I think it's a little messy. It also makes part of Fiona and Cake Season 2. I also cry every single time I watch the ending. So, like I really complain about it that much? Probably not. But,
yeah,
I don't know.
That's what I'll say. Like, the scene where the house of, like, his parents are destroyed... And he's just, like, floating in the void and, like, just, like, reverts back to his old self and then, like, rips off his skin. He's, like, screaming in pain, like, as a skeleton. Just out of, like, the sorrow of, like, everything that's happening, that, like, his whole life culminated to this point and it's just, like, crumbling before him, right before Jake shows up. Like, that was a very profound scene to me. Like, it's something that I was just like, oh, man, it's something that I felt like was kind of missing from the previous specials of Distant Lands, that there was nothing, like, to that level of, like, like, emotional impact necessarily.
Yeah.
So like, I really like that, even though, like you said, the parents are kind of sidelined. I do like that they have a little side plot with Tiffany. But yeah,
that is funny.
It is like weird that him, Finn doesn't really have that much interaction with them outside of them being also Jake's parents.
Yeah. Although I love Tiffany in this special.
Yeah, I love
for sure.
I think it's so fun that this is where we get more Tiffany stuff after like the robot place. It's really funny.
Yeah. It makes me wonder. Also, like, did he die? Like, did he die with Dr. Gross? Like. When that shit blew up.
Yeah, we see him in the last episode. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
He's fine. Yeah. I do say I think it's because I'm a suffering lover. I think actually it'd be really cool if they just admit that Finn wasted the last 60 years of his life. But that's because I'm a sicko. I think it'd be really sick if they just kind of committed to it. Just like, no, actually, he wasted the last 60 years of his life. And I'm like, damn, that's fucking brutal. And I know it makes life harder for the future, but I would have loved that. I would have loved that, like, he had to reckon with that so for his next life he can fix it. I think that'd be so neat and great. I do want to give a shout out to some voice acting casts for this episode specifically. Chris Fleming as New Death kicks so much fucking ass.
I was gonna bring up New Death. Yeah,
New Death is so fucking funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just the idea of like Death, like, no, but I'm fucking cool. We wear hoodies and we do kickflips and like we're like have cool side. I'm like, fuck, dude, he kind of kicks ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to the point I actually feel bad for him when he dies at the like him getting like taken over by the Lich and everything, like, and dying is just like kind of feel bad for him, even though he was like a total dick, just because he's like such a funny character that, you know, I didn't want to see him go. And usually like the funny asshole characters in Adventure Time aren't like, they don't die. Like even in BMO, the, you know, the like the bad guy of that special, the like alien dude, like he didn't die or anything horrible like that. He just is kind of like let adrift.
I do have a question, guys. Why do you think Wyatt went to the lowest level of hell?
What?
Oh, the character Wyatt.
I think you were talking about me first.
Yeah, I think in Adventure Time the biggest sin is just like kind of being an asshole. So I think he was just such an asshole that they just kind of sent him down there. Or especially like being an asshole to Tree Trunks. I think it's just the worst sin you can commit.
Seeing Tree Trunks in heaven with all her sexy ex-husbands in a polycule, but Wyatt's in the pits of hell is so fucking funny. I had to pause and laugh. Like, I had tears in my eyes when he was like done, like, help me, and like, no, and like, fucking, he's so funny. Every time Wyatt shows up, I'm like, this is a good bit.
Yeah.
And then like Elements is also a good bit, like where like he like is just like a fire warrior, but he sucks shit.
Yeah,
it's the worst.
Yeah, and I like what, and like he wishes for like something from Prismo and gets put in like the black and white like hellhole.
Right.
And Fiona and Cake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, what did he do? Like, why must he suffer for 1,000 years? What did he do to anyone? I do think it's neat that Finn turns into Shoko here. I think that's neat. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I do think this thing has like my favorite ending. I think like, even though I think as a suffering lover that I would have loved the big suffering ending of like them separating and having to become better separate, I do think them going, you know what, let's do it one more time, is the like kind of heartfelt goodbye you need for Adventure Time.
Yeah. And they're kind of like trapped into that with Shermie and Beth from the future people.
I was gonna say they don't show what their next life is, so you know, they don't explicitly ever confirm if like Shermie and Beth are clearly a parallel to Finn and Jake, but they don't explicitly confirm if they're like literally reincarnations of Finn and Jake. I don't think, unless they do.
I think they straight up do, actually.
I don't think.
But they don't in this. Like they don't show.
The special very easily could have ended with like a Shermie and Beth like little moment or them like fist bumping or something, and it doesn't. I was
very happy to see them at the end of Fiona and Cake season 1. I did not expect that at all. Like that we would see them again.
Yeah,
you know,
the crew clearly wants to make a show with them so bad. Like it's like the most obvious. Like we said that like Wizard City was a pilot, but those two are definitely like, please just give us a series with these guys.
They're so not to get straight. They're so funny in the in the fucking like a Fiona Cake ending where Sherby's a prisoner in his own mind and they go into his mind palace and he's just playing PlayStation.
Yeah,
it had me crying laughing. He's so funny. He's like Beth, I was a prisoner in my own mind, and Beth's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, it was like it's Sherby's just so funny.
Yeah, it's like hearing Jeff's voice from Clarence like as like a very different character from Jeff. You know, he's almost more of a like Sumo or a Clarence type character rather than a Jeff. So yeah, they're a good duo. But yeah, I agree with you that I would say like if there's one thing I can criticize but I don't want to, it's the idea of like, oh, the Lich again. Like this is like the 5th time.
I hated that.
I did not like it, especially because he has such a sick appearance in later on in Fiona and Cake, and then here it's just like, why is he here? It doesn't really have anything to do. It doesn't do anything. We don't even.
That's true. It is
evil
weird
hand.
That like with this, I was like, oh man, they're using him too many times. But then when he appeared in Fiona and Cake, I was like, this is the perfect thing. This is absolutely what they should have done. And then
because he's not a villain there.
And then seeing Betty like turn him into one of the Tetris blocks, it's just like, oh, that's so cool.
I also think this like Wyatt, you're not a Steven Universe. Steven Universe. Jesus Christ, you're not an Adventure Time theory person, are you? Right?
No, not really. I mean, unless what are you going to talk about? What the hell is this? Where is this going,
dude? I hate every theory thing that comes from the hand with the lich. Every day I want to go back in time and go, let's not cut the hand off. Mm-hmm. But then I remember that my favorite episode was Sweet Pea is because of the hand. So I go,
yeah, that is a really good episode. Like I feel like that.
Yeah,
to me, like that felt like all right. That was the like. Lich is defeated, like we don't really need to linger on that anymore,
I was trying to find conversation about motherfucking Magic City, and someone says, "Hey, do you guys want to talk about the primordial lore we got from that?" I'm like, I'm killing everyone.
No, genuinely. As somebody who has unfortunately received thousands of comments about Adventure Time, the percentage of this fandom who just sees every episode as like an opportunity to like fill up the wiki is mind-boggling. Like, it's like, I have no idea who Koketepi is. I don't give a shit who Koketepi is. I never will. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I don't care if they were like, I don't know what a primordial being is. Like, maybe that's like blasphemous to people who really like the show and have seen as much as I have. But like, I don't. I just can't be bothered.
I assume that is that not just like what Golb is or,
No, it's Wyatt, it's literally not. It's literally not. Okay, guys, sorry. Adventure Time lore at times, so I can ruin Wyatt's day. You remember the episode where they went to all the yellow?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the primordials, right? Okay. And the theory is that the primordials, and I hate talking about this, is that like when Jake's hand from when he fused the Lich got cut off, Prismo put it in like a side dimension with the Lich, and the primordials are like a bunch of like Liches and Jake stuff, which is why they're yellow, come together to get like God like ascension. And Koketepi's one, and like Gunther's real form is one.
Or
and I'm
Galord.
like, wow. Yeah. I'm like, guys, what if we went outside and smelled roses? What do we like? And hey, look, I have no issue with lore stuff, right? I have no issue with lore stuff if people enjoy that kind of stuff. However, when it gets in your way of enjoying the actual show that's in front of you, I hate you.
If you are more interested in the lore stuff than like Finn's like emotional journey, like I don't know.
Yeah,
like, I don't know how to talk about the show with you.
Yeah. I don't think we have anything in common as human beings. I don't think we have anything for us to talk about. Like,
well, I will say like. I wouldn't necessarily say that the idea of like that hand taking over New Death and it being like that made sense to me because there's an episode where they go to farmland and they cut the hand off and it goes into the alternate universes or whatever. Like that it didn't like confuse me or bother me. Like my problem was more just like, oh, this is easy fan service. We're just showing the Lich because of course, but I was also like, it makes sense. Like he is kind of like the ultimate villain for Finn and Jake. So ending it off with that makes sense. It would have been fine if it was just New Death, but I understand that he's not a serious villain.
But I don't think I think Death just being the villain for this is very fun. I think that's the issue. The issue is just dying. Also, I don't have an issue. I think it makes sense. It just is like it's like $4 million to theorists who don't watch the show.
Right?
Like that's just what it turned into. Like I just don't want like.
I mean that's true with like Steven Universe as well. Like not to the same extent necessarily, but yeah.
Look, whenever a show puts out something and like it's just like people who like watch it to like get more things for their theories instead of like, I don't know, absorbing the they're like power scalers. They're like the other version of power scalers. And like the thing is, I will argue, I think a lot of people that didn't like Fiona and Cake across the board are those kind of people actually. Mm-hmm. Like
I don't know because season 2 does add a huge section of lore to it with like green magic. So like I feel like people would be really into it.
No, that's not the lore they want, though. They don't want. They want the lore of like, is Jake a primordial? Is Jake the most powerful character in the verse? That's the lore that they want.
Yeah, they want. They want like the Yamoshi and the whatever. Like they want all the stupid ass lore, Dragon Ball style. Like Toriyama
is Jake street tier?
Yeah.
Is Jake street tier or is he God tier? Like, is he universal? Like, that's what they want. Like,
honestly, but let's power scale real quick. How powerful do you think? Like, what level do you think Jake is as far as like power scaling goes?
I think Jake is as powerful as it needs to be for it to be funny.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
If the character like Krillin punching him in the face once and Jake goes, "Ow, that hurt," Jake would lose the fight. because Jake is a bit forward character no matter what anyone tells you.
I was gonna say, because he could grow big and like break a building, so he could be like,
yeah, but also sometimes he grows big and it makes his tummy hurt and he stops.
Yeah,
so like he's a bit character, like, and I think that's why Adventure Time rules, is because like so many characters are bit characters. Like they can do like a crazy like Jake is his strongest when he's beating up Finn, and I think that's fucking hilarious to me. Like when he made all the feet that slowly kicked Finn in the face, like that.
Yeah. Anyway, this is it's still a really good special.
Yeah, definitely.
Together again, it's a great ending.
Yeah, no, I like it. I do think it makes a lot of decisions that like I think clearly implies that they thought this was going to be it for the franchise. Like I don't think they'd bring the Lich back if they knew they're going to have a Fiona and Cake. I'm not 100% sure this story would have existed if they knew they were getting a Fiona and Cake after. I'm not sure that I don't think they would have skipped. And that's it. Like, it is really, really interesting to make like what is basically like the 270th episode of your show skip all the way to the very end of your protagonist's life. But also the fact that it is not the end of the show is a little bit messy now.
Yeah.
Like I think it is very funny that we have this episode which is all about how Finn died as an old man, and then Fiona and Cake season 2, Finn is sick, and you're kind of supposed to like believe he might die, but like obviously he doesn't.
He can't. Like, not even, he doesn't, like, in the sense of, like, oh, he's the protagonist, he would never die, but, like, he can't die. By the logic of the story, it would make no sense.
Yeah, which I guess, like, every prequel kind of has that in some, like, but in some form. Like, BMO obviously avoids that slightly by not revealing it until the very end, but...
Yeah, no, that's a big prequel problem. I mean, not to talk about Dragon Ball too much again, but, like, that's a big problem with Super, is that... like I can't really feel any impact or anything on like literally anything that happens during that point in time, because I know Goku has to show up at the 28th Budokai and fight with Oob and take him off to go training. You know, like all those things have to happen because they did happen in the manga. So like slotting it in that like gap period between the end of the fight of Boo and then it's just like
it's weird.
It's just a bad idea. The fact that they keep fucking doing it like they did with Daima as well. Just move on. Just either stop making series, please, or find a different time period to slot this shit into.
I will say like because of like some of the design stuff in Distant Lands, and I do not want to get caught up on canon because it's not important. Sometimes I feel like this thing just isn't canon anymore. Like some of these,
I don't know, because I mean Wizard City, doesn't.
No. That's what I mean. Like that does appear. I just mean like I've been thinking about this. When does Finn get buff? Because I do like I'm sometimes thinking about his design in this. I'm like, he is like small here, and like getting as buff as he is at like 30, I would assume, in the Fiona Cake would take a long time. I'm like, is that Finn design from this even real anymore? But it doesn't matter because like I'm someone who's like, I don't care about lore, or like I do care about lore. I mean, I don't care about like timeline stuff like that. I care about what the story means to me.
Yeah. And
I love this story. I love these stories. I love all 4 of these, even if I have issues with them. But also having issues with something makes it better for me in my humble opinion.
And I had issues with having some of the we really love the final seasons of Adventure Time, but there's stuff like Elements
it's rough.
Where we were like, this isn't great compared to Islands or Stakes. It's just kind of funny.
The last season in general is a little bit messy for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we have like a couple episodes like Son of Rat Bear, and it's like, oh, okay, and then like, Mercy and Hudson, and it's like, oh yeah, and it's like,
I agree, but Son of Rat Bear is really funny.
Son of Rat Bear is really funny, but it is very much like Flame Princess's last episode. I can't. Does she have any like character change? Like it's kind of just like let's do a bit about like the fact that Flame Princess raps.
She does like she stands up to her dad, but it already feels like she kind of.
But she's already done that. Done that. Like I don't.
Well, I guess she stands up to her dad in like a way where they seem amicable is the thing there. Like it's no longer like an anger or like I don't want anything to. It's like an amicable,
Yeah, season 10. I mentioned it. I think in our episode, but like Ring of Fire, the Tree Trunks episode. That's probably my favorite overall of that season. So
I love Ring of Fire. I love High Strangeness. I don't know if you guys saw that one for like 2 seasons before, where it's like her and like Bubblegum.
Yes,
that's a great episode.
But also, I don't, like you guys are right about Son of Rat Bear, right? But also, the minute you said it, I just remembered the Water Chestnuts rap in my brain.
Right,
right now.
Where he's like he wrapped his arms off. Yeah, wrapped my legs off. Yeah, I mean, it's a very funny episode, but...
Water chestnuts roasted in my gut. Corn like, that shit goes crazy. Also, Open My Eagle. Shout out Open My Eagle. I have your vinyl. Me and him argued on Twitter before. But yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
It was over the Yu Yu Hakusho ending.
Oh, really? Which one? The like...
Smile Bomb. What the fuck do you mean? Which bomb? I mean, opening. Sorry, opening. Not ending.
Yeah.
But
multiple endings. So.
But yeah. He was like, I don't know. I don't think Smile Bomb is that good. And I'm like, well, first of all, fuck you.
Fuck that guy.
I'm like, it was a friendly fade. We weren't like arguing. We were just like joking back and forth. But I'm like, you don't like Smile Bomb, dude? Who hurt you in your past? Dude, that shit goes crazy.
Yeah, one of the best ever. Anyway, yeah, this a really good, very weird existence. Distant Lands is as just a thing that happened, as like a bunch of, again, they are like kind of TV movie-esque things, and like we said before, they're kind of logistically all over the place, but very enjoyable still. Like I never felt bored by any of them. Like I said, there were definitely points in like later into season 5 and into like the beginning of season 6 where I like straight up was kind of bored just because this energy was so low for Adventure Time that I was just like, can we please just get back to making bacon pancakes? Can we, just like to get back to this, old energy? I feel like they eventually like kind of found their mojo again by the end of season 6, but none of these felt like to that degree. And even going into like, Fiona and Cake season 2, like that's a lot more low key than season 1 was, but I'm a lot more engaged with it as far as storytelling and everything. So,
But yeah, this is late, and this is it for us covering Adventure Time for the moment. So
yeah, we're gonna hold off on doing Fiona and Cake until
the future. Yeah, but I just want to say, guys, sometimes the most popular cartoon that gets a bunch of spinoffs and has a 1,000 seasons is surprisingly really, really good. Who would have thought that
completely deserved it? Yeah,
who would have thought that Adventure Time was actually one of the greatest cartoons of all time? No one could have seen that coming. But yeah. And thank you for being on this last episode with us, actually. Thank you very much.
No, it was a blast. I loved rewatching these episodes, and this is like a very like interesting like way to like, this is like interesting like very HBO Max era of Adventure Time. Like it's like 4 weird specials. But yeah, I had a blast.
Yeah, definitely. And like I'm now kind of interested. I want to watch Summer Camp Island just because there's a lot of crossover between like late Adventure Time people kind of like left and like made that, and then there's a lot of crossover between people who made that and worked on Distant Lands, and then also like when that show ended, then they kind of folded over into Fiona and Cake, so there's a little bit of that continuity there. I remember watching the first season and not really liking it, but I'm always willing to check my opinions at the door and go in to see something with like fresh eyes, as a grown-up, as a proper not a 23-year-old but as a 30-year-old now. So yeah, I want to check that out at some point, sometime before we eventually get to it in Cartoon Buffoons, which will take like 2 years or whatever for us to get to. It's like
Summer Camp Island's like sneakily long, right? Isn't it like 100 and something
like
episodes?
6 seasons. It like just ended like 2 years ago. So that's like kind of crazy to think about, because other shows that came out around that same time, like Mao Mao, pretty like they came and went in like 1 year. Unfortunately, I love Mao Mao. But it just like it came out in like 2019. It was over by the end of 2020. So it was just like out the door. And then same thing with like even OKKO, 3 seasons, a lot of episodes, but it did kind of like come and go pretty quickly because they burnt off the last 2 seasons pretty quick. But yeah, that's Distant Lands, everybody. Adventure Time all together until we eventually do like a mini series or something talking about HBO Max shows, and we talk about Fiona and Cake, which we're just watching recreationally right now because I love Adventure Time. I wish that it would get a Blu-ray release so that I could complete my collection, because I have the whole series on DVD and I have Distant Lands on Blu-ray, but never got Fiona and Cake, not even season 1. So, But, all right, Sam, thank you for coming on. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find you on the internet?
Sure. I'm at YouTube and Blue Sky at AmpleSamuel. I make videos on cartoons. I just had one on Fiona and Cake season 2. So yeah, you can find me there. It is it's more of what you've heard today. It is a lot of cartoon talk for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of good stuff. But all right, Morgan, where can we find you on the internet?
Yeah, you can find me at Girl Next Vor on Tumblr. I am posting about Vampire Masquerade mostly, and some other junk, but mostly that. And I also post art, of course. I'm workshopping a new character, so I'm drawing a lot of vampire shit. Mm-hmm. Avoid if you hate that. You can also find me at Blue Sky, where I am Girl Next Vor again. I am posting about wrestling over there and nonsense and shit posting. You've probably seen one of my posts going around Blue Sky, and it sucked. It just sucked.
Yeah.
You gotta hurry though, because I did hear that they employed a new death over there, and they're gonna start killing people at random and sending them to hell. That's weird. But yeah, get over to Blue Sky before it blows up. Wyatt, where can we find you?
Oh, find me over also on Blue Sky. I'm on Twitter very occasionally, but it makes me so angry that I can't see straight. So I just mostly stay on Blue Sky because it's better for my blood pressure. Like Twitter literally has a function built into it of like, here's 3 news stories that will piss you off. Like that's,
dude, it's crazy.
Yeah, they're just like, here's this thing that will piss you off, and you click on it, and all the comments are just bots of people being like, I definitely think that we should kill everybody involved with this right now. Anyway, Blue Sky, Wasp Ranger, WACP Ranger, supposed to stream of consciousness stuff, but I post about videos I'm making and podcasts I'm doing. Other podcasts that I'm doing that's not on this It's Only Magic network is Horror Hole, which is over on my friend Cody's channel, where we go through a bunch of horror movies. We just recorded one for Ju-on The Grudge, which is pretty good, pretty spooky movie. I watched it during there was a pretty windy, rainy night, so my house was all creaky and trees were slamming against my window and everything. So I felt like I was being attacked by a ghost while watching that movie. It was a good time. Anyway, if you want to support me, go on to the Patreon. You can get the next episode, which is another pilot pile up, where we go through all the cartoons pilots that have been released thus far, the first 6. So check that out. That will be, if you're listening to this on YouTube, that will be up on the Patreon right now. If you're on Patreon already, thank you for donating $3. If you only got $1, that's fine. You still get Wow Cool Robot, where me and my friend Wayne go through every single robot in existence. Someone reminded me that we did do an episode on BMO. We do so many Wow Cool Robot episodes because they're just 5 minutes long. We just record them in a batch, and we do them every 3 months or whatever. And recently, I think the last time we recorded a big batch before this last one was in August or September or something. So it was a long time ago. So we're back to doing that, uploading some real cool Robot. So if you want to hear that, just $1 is fine. But all right. Once again, thank you, Sam, for coming on.
Thank you.
No, thank you for having me.
Yep, and join us next time as we get off the Adventure Time train once and for all, and crack into some fun pilots. See you there.
Goodbye.